Hey everyone, looks like we've got what seems to be the last two layers for the Summer Superdrop 2024. They are from an outside IP. We've got Assassin's Creed, two layers for it, and this is coinciding with the release of the upcoming set, that kind of small aftermath style Assassin's Creed that's going straight to modern. We've also got two secret layers that are paired with it coming out with Superdrop next Monday. There's a lot of information here, so let's just jump into it. First layer up is Vinci's designs. This is a really cool layer looking like Leonardo da Vinci's sketch. The art is, schematic-y, sketch style. If you look closely, it looks very Assassin's Creed, which is great. But I think these cards also fit. If you're not a huge super big Assassin's Creed fan, I think they look really good still anyway. So let's go ahead and start with the cards. First up, we've got Blade of Selves. This is a $2 card with a few reprints. We last saw it 2 years ago in Commander's Baldur's Gate. This is a decent card. Sees a good amount of play. It's really neat. I really like the effect that it has. Myriad is one of the very cool, triggered abilities that happen in Magic. I think is really neat. You can do a lot of shenanigans with it. So yeah, this is a great, cool looking card. Conqueror's Flail is up next, $4 card, $7 in the foil. Only seen two reprints before this. Last time we saw it, I believe, was in Double Masters 2022. It doesn't see a ton of play, but it's a grand abolisher style effect, basically letting you combo on your turn without anyone interacting with you, and it's on an equipment this time. So if you're like in a combo equipment deck, this makes a lot of sense. And yeah, art looks great. Next up, we've got Darksteel Plate. This also was last seen in Double Masters 2022. It's a $9 card, foil or non-foil. And yeah, this ranks pretty high. Having commander or whatever creature be indestructible is pretty nice. Obviously, there's a lot of exile-based hate these days in 2024, but, this still helps you get around some wraths. There's only like a handful of wraths that do exile. So, yeah, overall, pretty solid equipment. Sees a lot of play. Next up, we've got Death Render. This is a $4 card, $10 in the foil. We haven't seen this in 10 years. I think the last time was in Conspiracy. This is a really interesting card. Whenever a creature dies that's equipped, you may put a creature from your hand on the battlefield and attach Death Render to it. Really interesting way to cheat creatures into play. Doesn't see a ton of play, but maybe that's just because it's a decade-old card that no one's really heard of. So yeah, kind of an interesting include. Again, love this sketch art. Looks really nice. All right, finally, we've got what looks to be the bonus card. This hasn't been confirmed anywhere, but somehow this still showed up online. We know how Magic Leaks are. So, yeah, it's Haystack. We've seen Haystack spoiled earlier. It's going to be one of the cards in the Assassin's Creed set. It's a new card, so we don't have any pricing on it. There's no reprints, or we don't know how it's going to do. It seems totally fine. Phasing out is a good mechanic. Can save creatures from wraths, target removal, all that kind of thing. So yeah, this is potentially the unconfirmed bonus card here. All right, so how does this layer stack up? Well, we've got $21.33 in the non-foil price, and we've got $33.04 in the foil price. So almost getting your value back in terms of the equipment. I think the equipment are all playable, which is really nice. So let's look at the foil rating for Da Vinci's designs. So financially, we've got a 4 here. Obviously, a Death Render in foil, since we haven't seen it in a decade, is worth a decent amount of money, but nothing too crazy. Playability, we've got a 4. These are all pretty playable equipment. None of them are too egregiously overcosted. And art, I give it a 5. I think it's got that style of art that's, has a very wide appeal to those that play Magic the Gathering. But I think this is really well done. It's reminiscent of the Brothers, that bonus sheet, the retro schematic. Yeah, kind of looks like that. It's got some sketch vibes. I think it's really cool. And the total rating for the foil is a 5.3. That may seem a little high, but we're giving it a whole extra point just because outside IP gets a whole extra point. The cards happen to be really playable and strong. Not too bad financially. So yeah, that's why this layer is getting a 5.3. For the non-foil total, we've got a 5, just a clean 5.0. Again, Art's really high, playability is really high. Finance is okay, but again, we're giving a whole extra point bump because this is outside IP, and those do tend to sell and hold their value pretty well. So this is the highest of the rated layers so far. We've got one more layer, again, Assassin's Creed as well, and let's see how that one stacks up to round out the Summer Superdrop 2024. Alright, rounding out the Summer Superdrop 2024, we've got the final Assassin's Creed layer, Lethal Legends. This is a lot of legends from Magic the Gathering that have been reskinned into the Assassin's Creed universe. So, let's take a peek. What's going on here? Alright, first up we've got Evior, Raven Clan Champion, otherwise Najila the Blade Blossom. This is a super valuable CDH commander, or not even non-CDH, it's just a strong commander, ranked in the 500s. We last saw it a year and a half ago, only has 2 reprints though, so it's a $15 non-foil, $39 in foil. I think the foil etch is a little less, but all that being said, this is a pretty valuable card, really nice to include in this layer. Next, we've got Altair, Brotherhood Mentor, otherwise known as Kelsian the Plague. This is a 63-cent card, $1 in the foil. Shame they did Altair this way. Yeah, I mean, no reprint, so it's nice to get a reprint of this, but I don't think anyone was asking for it based on those prices. Ranks pretty low, and we haven't seen it in 4 years, but yeah, here it is. Next up, we have Amunet, Tyrant's End, otherwise known as Queen Marchesa. I feel like we've gotten a lot of Queen Marchesa reprints, you know, the last one being just 2 months ago. It's now squarely in the bulk rare at 8 cents for the non-foil and $2.62 for the foil. Still ranks, you know, pretty decently up there. Obviously, people use, you know, players with it as the commander, so yeah, you know, it's okay. Could have seen something with a little more financial value here, but oh well. Next, we've got Basim Master Assassin, or Ramses Assassin Lord. Only seen one reprint before this, but it's only a $2 card, so this is, again, just kind of one of the weaker slots in this layer. Also ranked 8,000, card barely sees any play. Finally, rounding out this layer, we've got Edward, Jackdaw Captain, or Admiral Beckett Brass. This is an 18-cent card. The foil is $7. It's seen several reprints, last one just 6 months ago. It's an alright commander, it sees some play, but yeah, just not that great. Unfortunately, not a great end in terms of financial value to this layer. So how does it stack up? Well, we've got $18 in the singles for the non-foil, and then $51 in the foil. Obviously, that Najila foil price is carrying the bulk of this. Without that, this is much, much closer to the non-foil price. I wouldn't put much stock in that foil single price at all. But how does it rank up? Well, again, for the foils, as I said, that Najila is doing a ton of work here. That's why we got the asterisk. It is a 5, but, you know, really take that with a grain of salt. It's got a playability of 2. This is really just, hey, if you really want one of these commanders and you love Assassin's Creed, I think snag this. Otherwise, it's going to be tough to kind of cram these in anything that isn't like the new Ezio 5-color commander deck. Art, I gave it a 3. I think it's solid looking art. Nothing super crazy here. Definitely more Assassin's Creed themed. So if you like that, I think this is, you know, definitely gets bumped up a bit for you. I think it's fine. It could definitely be worse. Yeah, I think the total foil rating for this is a 3.8. It's okay again, but that's with another extra point for the outside IP. So this is pretty low. I'm not really feeling this one. But yeah, let's take a look at what the non-foil pricing is. And as you can see, that non-foil comes down to a 3. I think that's much more in line with what this layer is looking like. The total ends up being a 3.7. So just a little less. You know, obviously we only took off a half point for the scarcity foil thing. It's still gaining a whole point from being outside IP. So that's doing, you know, a good, you know, raising of the total score here. Again, I think if you like Assassin's Creed, this is solid. Obviously, you know, the outside IPs tend to hold their value, but I think this one's just okay. You know, if you're not clamoring for it, I think you can skip this too, and you'll be just fine. So that rounds out the last of the probable layers for the Summer Superdrop 2024. We still have several days before Monday, so they could always drop a 7th. But they seem to like to stick in that 6 range for super drops. If you found these videos helpful, please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about. As I said, I'll be covering the layers in case they drop another one really quick on us. I'll go ahead and post a video up for that. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.